Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. Thankfully, it finally decided to work, so I get to do this in a not extremely pissed off mood. Always a plus from what people tell me. And we're going to go over a bunch of the stuff from 2.0. There was some stuff that, hurt my head. There was, some good stuff too. I mean, there were some good things that happened, and there's some things that actually really intrigued me. So I'd like to see what they're going to do with it. So it's not all bad, but there's some of that stuff. It's like, really, like, what the hell is, like, what's the purpose of it? Like, I get it, you're trying things, but it kind of feels like, it's way back when everyone's just like, why are we watching this? And there's this other company that started getting lots of viewers. I'm not going to say that's happened now, obviously, but there's a lot of, idiocy, I guess is the way to put it. But it started out with Tony D'Angelo defeating Dexter Lumis after a thumb to the eye. And all I really have to say is the people that were chanting for Tony D'Angelo and cheering him or whatever. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't like get it. The crushed velvet. It's like watching The Sopranos if it was made by, like, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. It really is just horrific. How much can they knock it off? Really? Like, not knock it off, like a knock off of, that amazing show to me. And it just irritates the living hell to me. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I get where they're going with it. And it's not that he's not playing the character well. It's just, it's 2021, you schmucks. Like, how do you take something that was where it was to this? To where you have guys acting like they're in The Sopranos, literally down to the garbage business. And here's a fish. And just like, and hiding people in trunks and kidnapping them, like, and all that. Like, I just find it to be completely useless and stupid and horrifically outdated. Granted, look who's running the thing now. We all know who that is. So this could also just be a me thing. I mean, like, you can work and all that. I don't like it at all. I don't get it. I don't think it works. And, I mean, just the whole thing. Like, I don't like the character. I don't think it's, good for the times here. It does seem like a ripoff. And I think that's just going to make people hate him more than anything. Like just, they didn't make, they said they didn't make developmental for people to stay there for years. Someone listening to this, please comment or message me on, text me, email me, Facebook message me, whatever, and tell me, where in the bluest of hells would Tony D'Angelo fit in, let's say, title picture or up on SmackDown or Raw? Where would he fit in? Oh, wait, nowhere. You know where he'd fit in? Future endeavors. He would be, see you later, bye. It is dog shit. Pardon my French. Not really, actually. Screw that guy. Then at least, and then after the match, Carmelo, Hayes and Trick Williams come out and attack Dexter. Puts his hand in the chair, jumps off the rope and smashes it. Does all that stuff, and then of course they have Johnny and the referees just conveniently happen to get there right after that happens. Tragic, But at least when they talk, I mean, they hurt your head, but they can like do it. It's just, I don't know. Like, you can see people just being that big of a miserable prick, like Carmelo and Trick. Like, I know people that are that miserable. They're that full of themselves and everything. So, I get that. But them coming out like, oh, look, he conveniently showed up 5 seconds too late. Oh, shucks. Through that long of an attack, suddenly here he is and like 6 referees all just coming through at the same time. Like, that stuff still hurts my head in wrestling. What's the point of having them come out at all then at that point? But Johnny carves out Carmelo and Trick for attacking his son-in-law and all that stuff, his family. And, and I was happy to see Pete Dunne answer it before them, say there's not, no one's jumping him in line, because he got the victory, because Trick, when he shoots, he never misses except for last week, and both of them I think are fantastic. I'm really like afraid as to where they're going to stick, Pete Dunne, I swear, just got a new contract recently, and Johnny Gargano, as they're trying to move away from people that have been there for forever, even though I think that they are the brand. So you need to keep them around, like some experience, with that much experience to work with all the young guys. But I mean, And then Carmelo and Trick answered from behind, on the stand somewhere out there. And at least I will give them that. Like Carmelo is throwing out the challenge for a triple threat next week for the North American Championship, which I think is going to be fantastic. I mean, Johnny and Pete Dunne, we all know what they're capable of. And throw Trick in there with, because he'll do something stupid as it's a triple threat, and Carmelo will be there. Like I mean, it's actually going to be a really good show stealer right there, just because of who's in it. That's going to be really, really fantastic in my opinion, which doesn't really matter to most people, but screw them. Because I think it's going to be fantastic. And I mean, he had his title run. Like I'd rather see, some of the steal one from Sami Zayn, maybe an elder statesman get this one, or keep working with him at least. But Carmelo and Trick, have those guys in there do that, so that way they keep with. So I think those two, you could learn so much from them, no matter who you are. Like in that situation with what they've done with the revamp of NXT, I think it's actually really important to keep them there to work with these, but make it so it actually means something. Like I would love one of them to win the title, just because I think that would be really good to go into the future for how long they've been there, how much experience they have, all of that. Will they give the title to one of them? Probably not, but I don't think it could hurt to have one of them knock the young kid off and then have him to, something to chase after again. Because that experience with them is invaluable, I guess. I think that's the word to use right there. So we'll see what they do with it next week. But again, that should be a killer match right there. And we'll see where it goes. I don't know. I wish one of them gets it, but not holding my breath. Diamond Mine backstage, Bivens running his suckhole and Gasingly seeming wanting to join. Hopefully, they don't, because mention inclusivity and it just hurts my brain. Hopefully they just beat him to death. Not literally to death, but they just put a whooping on him and they could do something that with all that. But it's not about Gacy's character, and then that other guy, can't think of his name, the bald guy that's creepier looking than me. It's not about that. I don't know. I like what they have going on Diamond Mine. I don't want to go and ruin that with Joe Gacy. Just because they're using Roddy and giving him this shot, which I think is amazing. So then we get to LA Knight and Grayson Waller package, whatever, Grayson Waller hurts my brain. It is what it is. Moved on to Odyssey Jones and Jacket Time, which is Jiro and Kushida defeating Diamond Mine. Roddy did hit an angle slam-esque, move, to Odyssey Jones. So good for him, because Odyssey might have probably helped to get him up there like that, but he'll get him up there. And again, he's doing better stuff than we see him doing a very long time. So I'm quite all right with that. Doing on, branching out on his own thing. I'm like, a certain Bobby Fish, but we all knew they were going to get together. But Odyssey picks up the win, so they could continue that from weeks past. I do feel bad for Kushida though, just because where he was like trying to get his footing in NXT, then he finally got his footing. He got the cruiserweight title, and dropped that to Roddy, and now this Jacket Time nonsense. I don't know. Could just be me. I just hope they do something with it instead of just wasting him there until they get rid of him, because we all know what kind of talent he has, and Jiro's talented too. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just don't like the little, I don't like him. I don't have to like everybody. That is the good thing about life. Character-wise, ring work, he can wrestle. But Kushida, after all the time it took him to get to where he was, to have him lose the title, and then automatically he's just there doing that. Damn shame to me. Hopefully they do something with that. Moves on to the grizzled young veterans. Sure, always, they're great to watch. Dude can talk, so I have nothing, against it. And they carried on, showing them doing all these vignettes and stuff, teaching him how to do stuff and all that. And this time he's FaceTiming with his grandmother while holding the NXT women's tag titles on their shoulders, hanging up and saying that should get me first in line for the inheritance, and then giving, and they have to go take the titles back to Toxic Attraction, which, seeing them, we all know how I feel about that. And then later on, they do catch up to them and give them the title back after Mandy and Toxic Attraction. Like it was, I don't know though, like them taking the women's tag titles. I mean, good for them. It was weird, but I mean, they interrupt Dakota Kai, who this new character, being all, out there. I'm okay with that. There's another wrinkle to it. But saying that it ended, her and Raquel's thing ended, tonight before she was, interrupted by Toxic Attraction, and the Grizzled Young Veterans show up to give them their belts. And, what they've been doing with all these little like segments and stuff hurts my brain, but it's giving them something else, because really they've just been out there, they can talk, and they've been getting right there, right on the cusp of being champions and then not. So I'm okay with it. I mean, it hurts my head personally, but it does add something to, to see what else they have when it comes to doing stuff like that, instead of just running their sucking in ring work. Show that you have everything else, which is pretty much all they're doing probably now that, Bruce and, Vince are in charge of it. So again, hurts my head. I wish they'd be tag champs and doing stuff, but I mean, they got Imperium with the belts, which is just as good. And shows personality. And if that's what they need to do to stick around and to get a title shot, I think they should be champions. I mean, Dusty Cup runner up twice. I mean, they're always there. Hopefully they get to it. But again, they can talk, they can wrestle. They're a very good team. So let's see where all that leads to. But taking the women's title belts, really pulled that off. We all know how they pulled it off, but in real life, how would one pull that off? That seems like it'd be something worth watching to me. It was on to Zion Quinn defeating Andre Chase. I mean, it was, we had the entrance, and before the match, there was MSK at the airport on the way to see their shaman, and the way they keep playing all this off. I mean, the airport stuff, traveling stuff, like the weeks it's been going on, it better be someone like Papa Shango or someone like that they're going to see. It better be a good payoff. Better not be some just dumb thing after weeks of doing these. Please God, and all of you are probably in agreement with me. Let it be something good. Don't make it something stupid. Pretty, please. Don't make it hurt my head. People like to hurt my head, so please don't. And then they go back to the match, and Quinn just ran through Andre Chase. I mean, there's a little bit of offense, but that was about it. And then he gets attacked by, Mendoza and Wild from Legado for a little bit there, and he actually does fight them all off. They get to the outside the ring, and he does get them both down and off of them until Escobar attacks him from behind. So Escobar's back, so the whole group is together there after we didn't see him for a little bit. I'm sure he needed time off because he was just going and COVID and all that, but or whatever happened. I mean, but good to see him back. Elektra Lopez gets in his face. No one says no to Elektra Lopez, and then they drop him on that diamond plate, which still, no matter what, doesn't feel the greatest. And then he gets that look from Lopez afterwards. So I'm really intrigued as there's three of them and her against just one Zion Quinn. The numbers are almost, in a way good for a certain match type that's coming up. So how are they going to play it off is really the big one for me. And we all know what that, event is. They're called War Games. What are they going to do with it? How are they going to do it? I'd like to see. But I mean, 3, one of him. Like, and how's he going to get any revenge in that situation? Like I could see them hopefully trying to do something like that. You get, maybe some more senior guys in there, or I don't know what they would do, but it is part of me. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. Probably another one of those clicker bad ideas. So, whatever, but we'll see. And him and, Elektra, like, I don't know. Hopefully it turns into something really good. But now that he's back, I think him and Escobar could have great matches. So we'll see what they do with that. The two cuts in Cameron Grimes Poker Showdown, like before it actually got started, we got to hear Raquel do some talking, and good for her, the match against Dakota and all that, and titles and everything she talked about. Like, I think it's, she's gotten better, at talking. Yeah, I mean, granted, she didn't do it for forever. So I mean, you're just practicing, then you get in front of the camera. Like, you got to find your natural flow with it all, and it's live. So she did better. I will, give her credit for that. Just like she's gotten better in the ring, so good for her. But the poker whole thing hurt my head. Grimes ends up talking Duke into folding, even though Duke had a 100% chance of winning. We all saw it. I mean, hopefully it hurt someone else's head as bad as mine. Then obviously after that happens, Grimes gets attacked, power bomb through a table, the poker table. And I must say that him pulling out the toolbox, pulling out a pair of scissors. I don't know if you guys see this or not, but that'd be a line I don't think I'd be able to cross. He's going to cut your beard and your hair. What the hell he is. No, like there's a lot back here, believe it or not. So we cut all that off. So we got to see what I'm intrigued to see what the new look for Cameron's going to be with, the beard gone and the hair kind of cut. But I mean, the beard's still there, so it's short, but I don't know. I'm just a man. I love my beard. It'd probably hurt my brain if they tried to, anyone ever told me to get rid of it. Hannah doesn't want me to get rid of it. So there's a positive. I finally have someone in my corner that doesn't want me to get rid of it. Hallelujah for that. Some of them, if you ever shave your beard, I'll leave you. Like, thank you, God. Because I do love this beard. So, yeah, we'll see where they go from. I mean, the poker thing was dumb, but I think, if they put it in the ring to have matches, that could really make up for it. I mean, I'm coming around to Grimes. Just the pitch of his voice still irritates the hell out of me, but, there's nothing you could do about that. And I want to see Duke Hudson back in the ring because, they built him up so much in the breakout tournament thing before he, got eliminated. That I'd like to see where they go with it now. But again, poker thing last night hurt my head. Please, God, put it in the ring. Kyle walks in, sees Vance as well, isn't it? If it isn't Adam Pearce's bodyguard, hey, at least Kyle realized it, because apparently the whole broadcast team on SmackDown had no idea who the hell the guy was. So at least he got something out of it, really. But not the greatest match ensued afterwards with Wagner and O'Reilly that defeated Briggs and Jensen, but it was a good match. Imperium was watching on. Wagner picks up the win. We'll see where it goes, but with Imperium watching, was that Austrian or whatever, like them, doing their promos and that with the subtitles, just adding another, again, wrinkle to them because they did talk in English for the longest time there. So having them do it and that adds thing to them. And I think just because Kyle's there, I mean, Vaughn, obviously, he can wrestle and someone has faith in him and all that. If they put him in the spot with Pierce and in the spot already in the match right away there, on night one. So I think it could be a very interesting, tag match. And again, I love Imperium. They always have good matches with whoever they're with. I think they're, you can tell me I'm dumb. It's okay. Wouldn't be the first time, but I think they're really good. So, see where that, goes, obviously, but it should be a great match regardless. It's all but guaranteed. So we'll see how long it takes them to have that match. Really is the big one. I mean, that was what, one win for them, maybe two. I think they need to win a lot more than that before they should get it. But who knows? Again, they had him on SmackDown already like that. That Pierce's bodyguard for a minute there. Which means obviously they have great faith in him, so they probably will push him to the moon. Indy and Persia backstage. Indy's worried about Dex. Persia tells her, don't worry, she'll get it. She goes into the tag match alone to make it a handicap match. Whatever. Again, I'm very excited about it. Cuts to Lashing Out. Lash calls out Kaylee Ray for interrupting Toxic Attraction celebration. And again, it's not that I don't like her, or she can talk. What she can do in the ring, who knows? Like the whole Lashing Out thing, like she can talk. It just hurts my brain. Again, it's not that I don't think she's not good. Like she can run or suck. I just think the segments have been really dumb for the most part. She called out Kaylee Ray. Grayson Waller walks out and goes off on everyone for, that I had to pay your dues and do like work for so long for hot dogs and handshakes and all that. And that time is over. And he did directly, time of DIY and their incredible journey and all that being dead. Again, I never liked Grayson Waller's character. Some of the matches they put him in proved that I don't know they exactly have faith in him, because I'm pretty sure he's gotten rolled. in a lot of situations. But yeah, I really can't wait until Ciampa gets his hands on him. I believe next week to remove his head from his shoulders, figuratively speaking, of course. And then they go back to the ring, and Persia wins 2-on-1 handicap match like easily, like nothing was going on. With Robert Stone there on the ramp watching again, I don't like Persia. Gear hurts my head. She's not the greatest wrestler on the planet, and maybe this is their way to try to get rid of her, though. Really, I mean, you think about it. I mean, she goes to the Robert Stone brand. I mean, it worked out okay for Aaliyah, like, after being gone for forever, but she's up on SmackDown. But I mean, other people there. If I remember correctly, Mercedes Martinez is gone. Hasn't worked out for all of them. Frankie Monet just got shafted and released, and she had her piece about that. Said it all afterwards. So maybe that's just a way to get rid of her, because I don't think it's gonna push her any farther forward. Yeah, and all I see is just a giant ass. Like her matches, her moves, like don't, not super impressed. Can I say, like, the more athletic people are just, my thing, and she's just, I don't know, there's something off-putting about her to me. So maybe it'll be a way to get rid of her. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. Man, I should do voiceovers. Not really, but we'll see. I just hope it's to get rid of her, but that's me. I'm me. I'll never change that. Sorry. I don't like her. Ciampa promo abruptly stops, just screw it. I'll say it in the ring, which, him just doing it is great. They played to Casey and Caden, Casey Canzaro and Caden Cameron package about where they've been and what they plan on bringing, to NXT, 2.0 with this whole new, gear and outlook and all moveset. Like, okay, I like them as a tag team because they've actually been like a women's tag team for, a long time now. They've been trying to figure some stuff out, and there were some setbacks here and there, but they've been a team for a long time, which, look at the main roster. Most female teams can't say that. So maybe one day they'll get the belt. I really don't see it, but at least they're actually a team, and I'm glad to see them back. But yeah, Ciampa cuts off his music while he's still on the stage. I can't really say ramp because it's all flat, but he's there, calls out Carmelo for all his trash talking about him having the A title, which I do agree that is a bunch of bullshit, malarkey, whatever you'd like to call it. And then again, I can't wait to see him smash him. Hopefully, but the way they're building it, I don't know. I just want to see him just start taking people's heads off. Calls out Grayson Waller for running his shit box, which is true. I mean, and sorry. I'm still a fond believer in, yes, talent does get you somewhere, and you should, no one should have to do it for handshakes and hot dogs, but just throwing a bunch of inexperienced people in there just for the sake of putting inexperienced people in there because you want to be all younger, bigger dudes now. Like, they didn't go and mess with it. I'm pretty sure they still be doing just as good as they were. They call people up to the main roster and don't utilize them properly. Their writing just became god awful after like Stand and Deliver. Like, that's why they went and moved to Tuesday, because their writing just sucked. Like after that, before they did the revamp, like it's not their fault. 2019, they were NXT was overall winning team because they had them at Survivor Series, and then look how far they've fallen. Like it took them less than 2 years. Like they weren't in the next one, and they're already rebranded. Like they were up on this high point, and it just, you could feel it going down to me. And really, again, Stand and Deliver around that, it just sucked. But anyway, can't wait for him to knock out Grayson Waller. I think it's still going to be a good match because Ciampa's in it, but no, they're building them. They're not going to have Ciampa lose to him. I just don't think they would. It just doesn't make sense for him to do that and then Ciampa do his thing. I think he should be champion for a while. But again, then he gets interrupted by Braun Breaker, comes back out. Guys, we'll never be done with Braun Breaker. Apparently, he reminded him that he already beat him, and really, did the video replay. The big thing I have taking away from it, you can correct me where you think I'm wrong or give me your opinion. I think they should move on from Breaker as he already beat him. And let him work with other new people and let Breaker move on to like, North American title zone just to get a big run out of that and give Ciampa, a lot of time to work with so many new young talents that they have. Let him do that and keep him there. Braun somewhere, but let someone else get in there and get the shot and don't have, Ciampa lose so quick. And they make Breaker look really good if you have him lose Ciampa, get Ciampa again so quick. I mean, then what does it do? So I think they should just move on and let someone else do it. Just, get a more seasoning, get more people to work with Ciampa. That's just me though. Trust me, most people tell me my opinion sucks. Used to it. But it's really good stuff. So we'll see. I mean, I really do. I mean, I'm not against Breaker. I mean, a little too amped up at times, but he has skill. And the match with, Ciampa didn't suck, but he beat him. Let's, move on to something else. Let him scratch and claw his way all the way back up there, because then when he wins the title off him, it'll just be this amazing thing. To me, like I said, just having him go right back after him, 7 seconds later. We'll see with that. And then Raquel Gonzalez, defeats, Dakota Kai by DQ, which, not the greatest thing in the world, but it was still a great match. I mean, how far Dakota, what she can do and how far Raquel's come in that amount of time, is amazing. So still a really good match. One of the greatest things in the world, but it was still good for what it was. And then Toxic Attraction attacks Raquel to cause DQ. Cora Jade comes down the ring with her skateboard, breaks it up. Zoe enters on crutches and Io gets a crutch and starts hitting people with it. And I'm not going to lie, her hitting people with the crutch looked awkward as hell. Really didn't necessarily find it to be the best hitting with inanimate objects. But I mean, everyone got some. The crowd was chanting War Games. They all knew what it was going for that for. Like we all got it. So crowd chants it. Io yells it. So at least we have the War Games match to see what kind of crazy stuff they're going to do with that. Because I mean, they're always good matches, the War Game matches. So that sucked. To see what's going to do and be like. I think it'll be really good. I think something to look forward to. Just the talent in there. I mean, it's a mix of Io and some people who have been there. And Mandy, I mean, Mandy's been there forever. I mean, she just got back to NXT, but she's been in the game for a while. But it gives a lot of people, a lot of fresh people opportunities. Like and Dakota's in there. Like there's experienced people. It's a good mix. So I think it'll be at least a really, at least a good match. There's so many opportunities to do things. We know what Raquel can do in there, and Dakota. Like so, see how it all works out. I think it won't suck completely. Now we just got to wait and see when they make the call for the men's match. That's the exciting one. So who knows? But overall, again, there were some good matches. There was, some waste of time segments. And of course, everyone has their own opinion on, what they should do with titles going forward and all of that. And what they do for TV. But I can't say it was the worst thing ever. Again, even with the stupid, the thing that pissed me off the most, though, is just cutting a man's beard. Obviously, he agreed to it. Could you imagine if he didn't agree to it? The hell that would have broke loose from that. But overall, not a bad night. They could have improved on some things. So we'll see what they do next week. But I'm not going to completely cut them off because I still got some faith. Always got to have faith. Without that, what is left? So we shall see what they do going into next week. Again, Grayson Waller and Ciampa should be really, really good. And the triple threat match for the North American title with, Carmelo Hayes with, Trick Williams. He's going to be there. Might as well just throw him out there. Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano. That should be a good one. So they set it up. There's actually a story with it. So it's not just a bunch of random matches put together to try to get views like you see in sometimes. So that's good. It gives you something to look forward to because at least those matches aren't going to suck. Just got to see where they go with it and where that'll be better than anything else they put out there. So that I'm going to bid you adieu. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching, listening, however you're doing it. Don't forget to share it out on your socials. No matter where you're listening to it or watching it, you can share it onto social so other people can see it and get more eyes and ears on it. I greatly appreciate it. That little thing right there says it all and everything you should do. And I greatly appreciate all of it because every little bit of it does help, believe it or not. So I'm going to get off here. Enjoy Dynamite tonight. Can't wait to see what they do there. They normally start out with the bang, so that should be fun. And I'll be back tomorrow to talk about Dynamite, whatever else happens to come up between now and then. So enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy Dynamite. Let me know what you think. Share it out. And till tomorrow, my friends. Peace.